João Abegão. Hello, João.
Hello.
He's a PhD candidate in climate change and policy for sustainable development at the University of Lisbon. His book is his master's thesis. It's the Atlas, a human overpopulation atlas. It's high time we had an human overpopulation atlas. We have atlases for so many things.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So I wanted to address another topic here, which is perfectly connected to population rise and consumption, and that is world land use. We know that the discussion shouldn't just focus on greenhouse gases. We also know that the surface of the planet has been changing tremendously due to human activities. This in case we know that agriculture and the raising of livestock have been the single greatest factors in the extinction of non-human species, but they are also as well a significant contributor to the greenhouse gas debate around climate change due to deforestation and the conversion of natural areas, for example. So when we look at this picture right here, we see that around 27% of the world's surface is currently dedicated solely to livestock raising. This is meat and dairy production. So this is just a map that gives you an idea that North and South America both are the same area of all the livestock that is required for humans. So on the other hand, we have forests going closely behind with about 26% of the world's surface, and cropland for direct human consumption with about 7%. Built-up area is around 1%. So we can make a safe prediction right here, which is that livestock and croplands, which are direct human consumption and other amenities, will both continue to rise as population growth increases as well as consumption. And the only place that this can grow is into the forests area, because these are the most fertile and productive lands on the planet. And we see this happening every day. This has an immense ecological burden on the planet, and we see it on the Amazon, for example, and other rainforests and tropical forests around the world. So this isn't just a debate around greenhouse gases, it's that our population keeps on increasing. People will want to increase their consumption of meat products, as it is described in the literature. When people get a little bit more extra money on their pockets, one of the first things they do is consume animal products. So we encourage the decrease of animal consumption, of products of animal consumption in the overdeveloped world, but this is a discussion that needs to include population as well. And that is where we...
Can you go, excuse me, I just want to interrupt briefly. Could you go back to that slide?
Yes.
I find it a bit disturbing that when I see the slide, I look at the red area, and it's telling us that the same amount of land that amounts to North and South America combined amounts to the amount of land that livestock is using.
Exactly.
Yeah. I find that very disturbing.
Yeah. It's our ecological burden on the planet. We increase our consumption, and one of the things that happen is that just livestock and the consumption of meat products has an immense impact on the planet. So it's contracting geographical ranges from other non-human species, and it's leading to immense ecological problems. So this is where we should focus the discussion on which are the pathways that we can focus on and exhort nations and governments to try and make a difference on the projections around population. And this is where we talk about family planning. Family planning is essential, and as you can see from the picture here, there are millions of women of reproductive age in developing regions around the world who want to avoid a pregnancy but do not have the means of modern contraception to do so. And this is an immeasurable and crucial point, because when women and couples can make their reproductive decisions more consciously, this has immense benefits for the population, but as well as for women's health, and to give a better start in life for their kids, because they can share the resources more effectively between the kids that they do end up having, as well as having a better future and better opportunities. So the Guttmacher Institute, this study right here, also concluded that if all unmet need for contraception was achieved, women could prevent or avoid 23 million births per year that were unintended from the start, from the about 80 million that are increasing every year. So this would not be a solution for itself, but it would be a pathway. And this is one that is very ethical and is also environmentally friendly. And what I want to show you is that the population debate and the climate debate are one and the same. We are all on the same table. And that is exactly what Drawdown, the project, came up with. They concluded and they studied the best solutions to fight climate change, which ones would have the best atmospheric CO2 potential in reduction. And what they came up with was that family planning and the twin solution of education of girls, which combined usually are termed women's empowerment, would lead to the greatest reduction in CO2. So this is where we need to focus our discussion. We are one and the same. This is a problem that can shift the direction of the population. We can have less people in a cycle, living in a cycle of poverty, having better start in life, and this has a lot of potential in environmental and just in the climate debate. So this is what we want nations and governments to be aware of. We are all in the same table.
João, if I may say something briefly.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to see the things that you have said, and I think it's really important, and I hope that some leaders out there are listening to what we're saying, because this is a big deal.
Yeah, I do as well. Please.